So you should have learned a couple basic tricks now. You know the figure 16, you know how to spin in front of you, you know how to do some hand rolls. You're getting pretty comfortable with the staff. Now there's something missing in our motion. If you notice, we haven't learned to bring it behind us yet. Okay, so this is what this video is going to be about. We'll be talking about how to bring it behind the neck and behind the lower back while keeping it flowing. This movement is pretty simple. There's 2 rules to keep, and I'll show them right now. So, first rule, when you bring it behind your neck, 2 thumbs down, and when you bring it behind your back, 2 thumbs up. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Fairly simple, okay? You just make a circle, bring your thumbs down, continue the circle, bring your thumbs up, okay? You notice the staff is on the vertical when you're passing. Now rule number 1 should allow you to do this fairly easily. But here's the little mistake that you might be making. Notice what I'm doing here. Now I'm at the end of the staff. Again, that's a common thing. You want to keep your hands at the center of the staff. Now how do you do that? It's a simple correction. Okay. Notice that whichever hand is receiving is on bottom here. And it's again on bottom here. You can do this movement with the receiving hand on top. The receiving hand should also be on top at the bottom. Okay? So, whichever hand is receiving should always be either on top or on bottom, but keep that the same. Okay? So, if I'm passing here and I'm sliding my hand on the bottom, when I'm going behind my back, it should also be underneath my other hand. If you put it here, you'll notice that every time you do a rotation, you're climbing a little further up the staff. So, simply, if you bring your receiving hand, again, I'm not talking about the left hand specifically or the right hand specifically, but the receiving hand. It should always be either on top or on the bottom, whichever feels more comfortable. So if you're catching on bottom here, you're also catching on bottom here. Catching on bottom here, and also catching on bottom here. So quick review, behind the neck, both thumbs are down, and then we move into the bottom hand. Behind the back, both thumbs are up, and we also move the staff from the top hand to the bottom hand. Okay? So if my right hand is on top here, it will be on bottom here. If my left hand is on top here, it will be on bottom here. Again, I'm not trying to confuse you. If you're talking about the same hand, it alternates position. But if we're talking about the receiving hand, which is always the opposite hand, it stays on the same position. Okay? Now to make this a little bit easier to learn, take your time. Point your thumbs out. Point your thumbs down. Point your thumbs out. Point your thumbs up. And remember hand positioning. And then you can work on speed. Okay? That's all for this movement. There's very little complications that can happen except for putting the wrong hand in the wrong place. Okay, as long as you're keeping thumbs down and thumbs up, and you make sure that your hand position, the catching hand, is always either on top or on bottom, then you should be fine. So practice for this. Okay, you may want to do a figure 8 and then transition into a back pass, and figure 8 and transition into a neck pass. Figure 8, transition into a back pass. Figure 8, transition into a neck pass. This gives you the time to think about your hand positioning. Okay, you got a little bit more of a breather, so it may help you learn this movement until you're able to do it like this continually. And it's also good to practice different variations of the movement. Other things you can do, remember the figure 16, pass into the other hand, pass into the neck, pass into the other hand, pass into the neck. So you can also pass the switch hands right in front of you by combining it with the figure 8. So instead of dipping behind you, you dip in front of you, and now you switch. Notice that you can only go to one direction. So if your staff is going upwards, you'll be going to the neck. And if your staff is going downwards, you'll have to pass behind the back. You cannot do downwards here and try and come to the neck. Okay? Follow the reps down below. Try this move every day for a week, and you'll be very close to mastery. Okay? Don't forget to keep practicing the other moves, and you can kind of build your whole training routine by warming up with the other moves that you learned. Then you focus on the move that you are learning, and then you try and combo them into different little movements. Play around, throw some music on, and you'll find that now you know a couple moves, it starts to get a little bit more fun. Okay? So I might have 1 or 2 more videos in this basic training segment, and then if you want to learn more about staff spinning, you want to learn more advanced movements, then you can check out my premium course, which should be up by now, where I'm going to be teaching some more advanced movements. I also have a bunch of free tutorials on my Instagram that are a little bit shorter, less explanative, but might be simpler for you guys to follow, so feel free to check those out. Okay? I hope you guys have enjoyed this course so far. Let me know in the comments below, what would you like to learn? And I might post it as a free tutorial on Instagram. If you got any questions, don't hesitate. And feel free to share your progress with me. As always, I love seeing you guys learn new tricks and play around. Peace, and have a wonderful day.